Hello, everybody. Today, I wanted to talk about these ideas of introversion and extroversion. And just to recap a little bit, extroversion means that you have a personality where basically they say that you charge your batteries or you get your energy from interacting with people, right? That is with the exterior, we can think of it. And introverts are people that recover their energy or get their energy from spending time by themselves with their thoughts and their feelings, right? So obviously, it's more complex than that. We all have moments where we're introverted, like when we're alone and thinking about our thoughts and feelings. And we have moments where we're extroverted, which is when we're with other people, right? But we have an inclination, right? The thing is that we have an inclination towards one or the other. So this video is actually for introverts, for people kind of like me. I am more of an introvert. I do like to socialize. I do like to talk to people. But when I talk to people for a long time, I eventually get exhausted and I recover being by myself with my own thoughts, alone, right? Like that alone time, as many people call it. So this is an idea, a tip for people that are like me, which I'm actually going to start to try out. So I was reading on Jung's introversion, extroversion ideas, and he said something that kind of resonated with me, and it kind of like lit a light bulb in my head, right? I was kind of like, oh, yeah, that is true. Um, and he said that introverts tend to talk about feelings and emotions and thoughts. Now, this is tricky because you may say, well, you only like to talk about your thoughts, or you only like to think about your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. But it's actually, I think that you like to talk about those things. So that means that when you want to talk to people, you don't want to talk about superficial things, right? You don't want to talk about the weather or what happened in what part of the world, right? You want to talk about deep things, right? Like my emotions, like abstract ideas, abstract thoughts. What am I thinking? What am I going through? What is my experience telling me, right? And you want to talk this way to other people. So you will only listen to people when they are talking like that to you, when they're talking about their emotions, their thoughts, their ideas, their experiences, what they make of their experiences, what they make of their life, right? That's when you will say, I'm listening. In those cases, you're not that introverted anymore. You're actually socializing, right? But the problem comes when we try to do this. And as introverts, we don't have a lot of, I would say a lot of people aren't really introverts. I would say most people are actually some type of species of semi extrovert. This means that they actually like to talk about superficial things, right? Okay, and this is the tip. This really resonated with me. So I was reading about introverts, right? They like to talk about their thoughts and they like to talk about their feelings and their emotions. And just in general, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, right? That's our main topic of conversation. What do extroverts like to talk about? What do you think extroverts like to talk about? And I was reading and I came across this word that I was like, yes, things. They like to talk about things, objects, right? And it kind of makes sense. I don't know why I didn't see this before. It makes sense that they like to talk about the superficial. And what's the superficial? What you can see, right? Not intangible things, but tangible things, right? The water bottle, the cars, like the weather. The weather is like something superficial, right? It's out there. Clothes, right? I think this is where we get a lot of like extroverted talks on like news, right? Again, all of this has nothing to do with emotions, with feelings, with thoughts, right? It's like more objective, like, oh, what car did you buy? Okay, this is where people also like to talk about where you come from, where you work. Are you married? Are you single? Are you divorced? And for introverts, this is not good because we don't like to we're kind of distrustful. We don't trust people. We get paranoid and we say, why do you want to know? Why do you want that information? What are you going to do with it? I'd rather talk to you about feelings and emotions. And many introverts, not even that. But me as a kind of introvert, I would say, what are you gonna do with me talking about emotions and thoughts? But if I tell you where I live, like where I work, how much I make, like things like that, that's like superficial, but you can do things with that, right? That's knowledge and that's power. But okay, going back to the tip, there are other things that you can talk about, right? Like a good idea is to kind of like watch the news and just find out what's going on. And those are a lot of topics of conversation. So you can say, okay, I don't know, recently this happened in Iran or in the United States or whatever. Okay, so next time you're talking to somebody or next time you have to interact with someone, you could just say, did you hear about what happened in Iran, in the United States? This happened. Oh, really? And people, like I said, most are extroverted, and they like to talk about that type of stuff. What kind of car do you have? Do you have a motorcycle? Do you go cycling? What sports do you do? Do you like basketball? Do you like football? Do you like baseball? You could even talk about, like, I guess, authors. What type of books are you into? What type of videos do you watch? What series are you watching? You know, so it's always the what with the extroverts, right? You can think of it kind of like the preppy popular kids. They're not talking about their emotions. They actually, like, they will block that, right? They will repress their emotions. They're talking about, what's hip, what's the latest clothing brands that we're buying, what's the latest car brands that we're buying, where do you live, right? How much money do your parents make, right? Like makeup, maybe for women, for guys, like girls, right? Like they're talking about all these type of superficial things, right? And I think that's a good tip. That's somewhere where you could start. It's difficult, I know, because we see introverts see that type of conversation or that type of chat as very superficial, vague, hollow. It doesn't lead anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere, right? It's always the what. Like what's hip, what's out there, what are people doing. You could also talk about gossip. Gossip is big. So it's not, how you view people. It's not the why, it's the what. What are they doing? This person just cheated on that person. Oh, damn, gossip, right? Or this person just did this. This person just got this other job. This person just, like what are they doing? Right? Because many people, like I said, don't like to get into the why. The why. Okay, this person got into this, or this person cheated on this person. Why? And that's kind of like, you got to reflect on it. Why? And then you could say the why with the extroverts. Why? Because it was revenge for when that other person cheated on that person. No. Oh, damn. And why did they cheat on that? Right? So if you start to do the Socratic method, which is the why, why of that, why of that, why of that, why, and you just keep asking why and why and why and getting all reflective, you eventually enter the introverted territory again, right? You're now talking about, emotions, thoughts, like your inner self, right? And people's inner selves also. Why do you think that happened? I mean, I know it was because of revenge, but do you think it may have had something to do with that person's childhood? Did that person see it in their parents? You start all this conjecture, and many people don't like that. They don't like to get that. I don't know why. It's awesome. I love it. I think introverts also love it. There's a lot of quiet introverts also that don't really like to socialize, even when it comes to talking about their emotions. But I think you just have to keep that in mind. Like, talk about stupid things. Practice it. I'm gonna start practicing it. Maybe later on I'll tell you how that goes. But I think that's a good way to kind of enter the extroverted terrain, right? If you're an introverted, or if you tend to kind of go into the introversion like I do, that's a good place to start, right? Start talking about things, just things. The pen. Why this pen and not that pen? Why this laptop and not that laptop? Things. The what? What's around me? What's the material? There's different materials. There's different brands. There's different types of clothing. there's different brands of cars, right? All that type of stuff, right? So that's all I got for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.